Welcome back, my friends. Today is an extra special episode because I'm going to be interviewing one of my 6 children. What? And not just anyone, the first of my line. I will be interviewing Aria, my biological 13-year-old daughter, the one who made me a mother. The one who went from a tiny little 6-pound baby to a giant who's almost as tall as me at this point, at just 13 years old. And I'm interviewing her today, number 1, because I want to, but number 2, because this show is all about the power of connection, right? And pausing to take in the moments that really mean something, that show us who we are. And so today I want to ask Aria, from a 13, almost 14-year-old perspective, about how she makes those connections. Because one thing that Aria is really good at is connecting with people and appreciating the moments that many of us overlook. So we're going to talk about all those joyful things today and how she makes those connections, as well as where she finds peace. So welcome to the show, Aria.
Oh, hello.
Well, one thing I ask all the guests that I interview before I get into the interview questions is a couple things that can help us get to know you better. So the first question is, what is something that you hate? Like something that really bugs you?
When people, for playing a game and they're telling you to be quiet, but then they're over here ruining the game. That I'm talking from experience. That happened a little bit ago.
Okay, well, let's not use names, but like, what do you mean? What do you mean by telling you to be quiet, but they're ruining the game?
We played a game with a bunch of people where it was sardines, and we were all hiding. And funny enough, Tori was the one who was...
Remember how we're not using names?
Okay, but she's my sister. It's fine.
Okay.
She was the one who was hiding, ironically. And we were all hiding, and I found her. And there was this one girl. What should we call her? Well, we're going to call her Apple. Apple was over here. She was like... so we were all quietly whispering, and Apple was like, "Shut up!"
Oh.
And she's like, "Okay, Apple."
Because the idea with sardines is if you're too loud, then the person's okay. They'll find you.
And Apple is like, "Okay, hold on." And like, so we were hiding in a room with a bunch of tables, and there was table, and like a square, and she went in the middle, and there was the door right by it, and she was like, "Okay, guys, I'm gonna go out, and it's not gonna seem obvious at all. It's not gonna seem obvious. I'm gonna go out." And so she leaves the hiding place. And she acts like she doesn't even know where we are. And she comes back with people.
Oh, she betrayed you.
I think she did.
Okay.
Or, like, people saw her. So we're all like, "Apple, okay." Mm-hmm. And she does this, like, every time.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
So, here we are
That's
talking
something
about...
that I hate.
Yep, I know. Here we are. I do this beautiful introduction all about connection, and then it's just like, well, fuck Apple, man. You know, just here we are. Okay, so it sounds like hypocrisy bothers you, meaning people telling you to do something, but then they do something.
No, she was
that
telling
doesn't
everyone
align.
to be quiet, and we're like, "Okay, Apple."
But then she was being loud and
Yeah.
Okay, that's annoying when people tell others what to do and they don't follow those rules. Yeah, that would bother me too. Okay, well, how about something that you love? What's something?
My friends.
Your friends?
That was so easy.
Yeah, why was it easy?
So because I love my friends. It is just fun because we hang out.
Yeah, what do you love about your friends?
They're always really funny and nice.
So they're funny and nice?
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes the fan on the computer turns on to cool down the machinery. So, yeah, that happens sometimes.
Sounds like an airport.
Yeah, it does kind of sound like an airport, but it'll turn off in a minute. Okay, so you love your friends. Well, I was going to wait to ask you more about Tori till the end, but since you brought her up, I think we'll start with that one. So one thing that I admire about Aria is that lately she's been using more self-control. And by that I mean when someone bothers her. Aria's like me. She has a pretty strong voice, pretty strong feelings about things, as you can hear. And
Apple.
and yes, Apple, thank you. And in the past, when one of her sisters, particularly the one she mentioned, has
Tori.
Okay, yep.
Don't forget it.
Yeah, that whole no names thing is just right out the window, huh?
Hey, I didn't use Apple's full name.
Okay.
Real name.
All right. Yep. So, you've been using more self-control lately, where, like, let's say, well, recently your sister stole your money out of your wallet.
Ooh.
And let me just, for the sake of the audience, let me share this story because it's so ridiculous. Aria made some money from babysitting, and she had it in her wallet, and it went missing.
Yeah, because I went somewhere. I'm going to tell the story now.
Oh.
So I went somewhere, and I thought for a second, oh shoot, did I drop the money at the place that I went? And I was like, okay, I mean, it's not that big of a deal, but I'm a little upset because it was $12, a 10 and 2 ones. And,
That's very specific.
Yeah, it was. And I had a 20 in my wallet too.
Mm-hmm.
So I put it on my bed, and I think my wallet was open, and so was my bag. So I think, what should we call Tori? We're gonna call her Tori. I think Toriel went in my, it was the night I got back. I think she took the money out of my wallet because later that night I was like, oh shoot, did my money go? Maybe it's just in my jean shorts because I wore jean shorts that night, and maybe I just like dropped it somewhere else. So then the next morning, I looked in my jean shorts and I was like, oh, it's not in there. This isn't good. So then I was like, oh well, maybe I'll just. So then in the morning I went somewhere. Then I got back and I was like, oh shoot, where's my money still? So I looked a little more and it was gone. So then I had the idea, okay, maybe I just dropped it at the place I went. So then I went to go tell Mom and Tom that I think Tori took my money. And ironically, I told them I didn't go to Tori first, I went to them first. And I said, really calmly.
Well, let's pause there, because that was a step in the direction of self-control, right? Mm-hmm. You went to us first and not Tori. Why did you do that?
Because I knew Tori would lie. And I wasn't completely positive if she took it.
So you went to us for help, though, before accusing her, right? Because in the past, we've struggled with accusations and yelling, screaming, sometimes hitting. It gets real ugly. So you instead came to us first.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then, right after I came to you, I know this wasn't the best choice, but I went back downstairs and I looked in her wallet.
Mm-hmm.
And she had like several little pockets in her wallet, and in one pocket she had the 10, and in the other pocket she had the 2 ones. And I was like,
so she cleverly spread it out.
Yes. Well, no, I think she meant to organize it. But the reason I knew she didn't have that money before is because later that night she was counting her money in front of me while I was watching TV. And she was on the couch counting her money. And she said she had 77 cents. And I was like, okay. So I know she doesn't have money.
Mm-hmm.
But then, so where did she get that money from? So then I went right back upstairs. And I told Mom, hey, I saw this money in her wallet.
Yeah, so, I mean, to kind of summarize this part of the story, we then interrogated Tori, and she denied it, but then went down to destroy the evidence and threw it under Aria's bed.
No,
but
and I literally heard her open her wallet and ran around, and I'm like, oh.
Well, okay. The irony of that is then she told us, or she told you, look under your bed.
No, she was like, did you check under your bed? Okay, let's think about this. I set my bag on my bed, not by the end, not where it could go under my bed. And I have a shelf or a 3-drawer that's like right at the foot of my bed. So how could have it gotten under my bed?
Yeah, well, the point is she denied taking it, but then told you where to look for it. So that was mistake number 1. But the point of bringing up this story is that, you know, in the past, maybe you would have yelled at her, screamed at her, you know, accused her, but you came to us and you tried to gather evidence. So how did you get to that point where you wouldn't necessarily yell and scream anymore? How did you kind of make that change?
Because I knew I wouldn't get anywhere with Toriel.
Okay, so you knew that you would just end up in a fight?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, like, as I was reading my Bible, it's, like, saying hold your tongue and don't fully accuse, because that's not going to get you anywhere.
Mm.
So I'm
okay.
kind of, like, reading it off the Bible, and I'm, like, helping it make a lot of my life decisions, because...
Well, that's a really cool thing. My listeners know, and you know, I don't necessarily believe in Christianity, but I do think it's a good thing that you're turning to, you know, your religious beliefs to help you. I think that's a really wise thing to look to the spiritual teachings that you believe in.
And that's also why I haven't been fully... Okay. And that's also why I've been, like, using more self-control, because the Bible says not to... Shoot, I don't know, like, how to describe it, but don't, like... Don't treat others the way you want to be treated. Treat others with kindness always. And that's what I've been trying to do. And Tori's making that really hard.
Yeah, but you're still trying.
Yeah.
You know? And you probably have found that because you're controlling your actions, you're not getting in trouble the way you used to from yelling. So even though you can't control Tori, you can control you. And by you actively trying to... use kindness and to slow down and take some more steps towards solving the problem rather than lashing out or yelling, you don't get in trouble as much and you get the help that you need. So even though you can't control what Tori does, by controlling what you do, you get to a point where you're in a better situation, because if we take the money thing, you didn't get in trouble. You got your money back, you got the help of your parents, and it all kind of worked out.
Yeah.
So that's good. And I have to tell my listeners one more time, I share with my children the same things that I share with you about Christianity, so Aria is well aware of my feelings on the matter, but I also am not going to stop her from practicing a religion she believes in. So just a little disclaimer for you. I've shared with her everything that I've shared with you. And
your hair is bothering
me. And so she knows those things. My hair is bothering you.
Because
okay.
There we go.
Okay. I put it behind my ear. We're all good. Teenagers are fun. So we're going to switch gears from the self-control piece to something that I really admire about you is that whenever we go to a park or some kind of event where there's families playing, Aria always ends up playing with younger kids, and she's not just playing; she's encouraging them.
Oh, I love doing that.
You're very good at that. So let me give them an example, and then you can share more about that. So recently, we were at this nature center where there was this sort of like, I would describe it almost like the hand of a clock, kind of oscillating or going back and forth.
No, it was one little thing. It was like platform, and I've never seen this before. And then there was this one thing where it was, like, in the middle, and you had to sit on it, and, like, you push it back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah, so it was like this
cool.
lever kind of thing in the middle where you had to sort of cling on to the top of it, and you're at least 10 feet up in the air. Yeah, you're 10 feet up in the air, and you have to hold on as you go from one platform to the other. So it's intense, because if you fall like 10 feet or more, maybe. So you were encouraging, I saw some younger girls to take a ride on that and kind of helping them. And this is something you do a lot, whether you're helping push kids on the swings or just playing. So tell us more about why you love doing that.
Because I remember as I was younger, kids didn't do that for me, or some maybe did, and I don't remember. I want to like encourage other kids to do that because like it like makes me happy to help them out, and I just love helping them. And it's so cute to even see the smiles on their face. Like I want to encourage them to do that. And like kids are super nice and they're sweet, so I want to like help. I want to encourage them, and like I just want to somehow make their day.
That's really nice of you. And what is it about like seeing them feeling encouraged that makes you happy?
Because I remember when I was younger, kids didn't fully do that with me.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me, like, it would hurt my feelings quite a bit.
Oh.
Like, I was just trying to be nice to them, and they would, like, hurt my feelings.
Mm.
But, like, it was so nice, and kids are so sweet, and, like, I just love playing with them, and it's so sweet.
Well, you are very good at playing with them, and I know that what you do makes a big impact on their day, and just like you remember the kids who didn't play with you,
I just want them to
they'll remember that you are someone who did play with
and
them.
And I want them to continue doing that.
Oh.
And I want them to grow up to help play with the kids too.
That's very powerful. That's something I talked about on this show a lot, that the things that we do every day to help people matter a lot and make a big difference, and we're all a lot more connected than we know. So I think that's a really cool goal that you have, and you're right, they will remember it as they get older and will be more encouraged to pass it on. So that's really, really cool. And kind of on that note, let's talk about your brothers, right? Because you have a 5-year-old brother and an almost 3-year-old brother, and you actually like them. Tom and I have talked about that before, how, like, we're not so sure if the other girls really like them, but you do.
Them.
So what do you love about your brothers?
I love how they're really sweet. They're not always really nice, but when they are, it's really nice to play with them.
So what's something that you love about them?
I love that I love when they, sit with me on the couch and we watch shows. That's one of my favorite things that we do.
How come?
Because I know the other girls don't do that, and, I know Jor does that super often, but I love when Casper does it with me. Because, he doesn't do it really often, but it's always really sweet when I get to snuggle with them. And I just know, because the big age difference between us is that they're not going to stay that age forever, and I'm going to miss the time when they don't want to do that.
Oh, that's very wise, too, of you. That's really sweet. One thing that Casper, the almost 3-year-old, does is he likes to watch the birds in the morning. He'll get out of his bed and go out on the couch and watch the birds. And I noticed the other day you asked him if he wanted to watch the birds with you. Do you remember why you asked him to do that?
Because that's another reason I get to spend time with them.
Oh,
and
very sweet.
I still think it's fun because I love seeing the reaction on Casper's face that he's watching the birds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Aria is really good at appreciating the moments, and as all of you listening know, it can be really hard to have 6 kids, and 8 people in one house for everybody involved. But those little moments where, especially I'd say the boys are some of the most difficult ones in the house because they're young, they get up early, they make messes, they throw tantrums, but those moments where they're doing sweet things
are the moments they're going to remember and that you're going to remember.
Mm-hmm. And they'll remember those moments of connection, even if they can't show it now. They will. Anything else you want to share about your brothers?
They're hard, but after they're hard, they're sweet.
So
that's something I really like.
Oh, that's a really good statement. They're hard, but after they're hard, they're sweet. Okay. Well, the next question I wanted to ask you has to do with responsibility. So, and I had a question about how you did that. It's responsibility, self-control, all of that. So Aria sometimes dog sits for our neighbor when our neighbor is gone. She'll go over and take the dog on walks, feed it.
3 times.
Well, that's why I said sometimes. Yeah. But something interesting this time, the most recent time she did it was a few weeks ago, and it was for a longer period of time, a span more of 3 days or so rather than just overnight.
Wednesday through Friday.
Wednesday through Friday, yes, that was the specifics. And they paid you quite a bit of money, and they left the cash sitting on the counter, at the beginning of the job. But something that you did is you waited until the last day of the job to even take the money. Why did you do that?
Because I remember watching a video where it's I remember if I'm gonna I watched this video years ago where if you pay them in advance, you're not gonna do as good of a job because you already have the money and they're not gonna and they can't take it away or make the money down pay. So you wait. So and it's also gonna feel more of an accomplishment because if I were to have taken that money the first, like, thing that I babysit them, I wouldn't have felt like I accomplished anything. Like, it, like, didn't, I felt like I earned it because, like, I felt like I earned it after every day. Like, I felt good after I got it.
That's really wise. And I think you're right. When you just take the money right away, it's like, oh, well, I already have the money. It is kind of like a psychological thing that you might not even think about if you take the money right away. Because it's just like you said, oh, well, I already did it. So, you know,
what's the big deal? I don't have to try as hard.
That's really impressive. That's really, really impressive. And the fact that you want to feel like you earned it is really cool, too. Why do you want to feel like you earned it? Why is that important to you?
I don't really know, but it's just, like, it feels better than just, like, taking it. Because, like, I didn't like, oh, I already have it. What's the big deal now? Like, yeah.
Well, it sounds like you're really good at taking the wisdom that you read from different places or see, whether it's from a video or the Bible or other people or your own past experiences. You're really good at taking that and applying it to situations that matter to you. And that's something I encourage my listeners to do too. To, you know, read and watch things that inspire them and see the different ways they can connect it to their own goals. So it sounds like you're really good at that too. Okay, this one's kind of goofy, but I think it's important. Another thing I admire about you is that you're not afraid to put yourself out there, whether that's asking someone out or just talking to new people, making new friends. You're really confident when talking to people. How do you do that?
So I've started to get better at this, but usually if it's not gonna matter in 5 years, why should it be a big deal? Like, and it could matter in 5 years, but really, like, just talking to people, because it can make their day and it makes my day. Like, it's nice to talk to people, and, like, you never know what type of day they had, because, like, that could have just made their day better.
No, that's good.
But also with asking someone out, it could not matter in 5 years. Like, so. But
what's the good thing if it worked out? Like, if they said yes now?
Then that would have been a great thing. Then I'm glad I but that's the thing. If I wouldn't have put myself out there, I would have never gotten an answer. And you would have been stuck in a spiral saying, oh, if I would have asked them, would they have said yes or no? You wouldn't know.
Exactly. So how do you, if they say no, how do you get the courage to ask someone again? Because sometimes people, when they feel rejected, they're like, oh, I don't want to do it again. Like, how do you get the courage to do it again when you experience what feels like rejection?
Well, then I guess that's it. Like, if they reject me, that's fine. That's not what my path led me to.
Okay.
That's okay. Like, I may be upset during that day or like, that day or night, then that's fine. So what? It doesn't matter. I'm glad I put myself out there, but that just means it wasn't meant to be.
Okay. Well, that's pretty impressive, too. Are you still encouraged to try again?
Yeah.
Even now?
Oh, yeah.
Can you talk about one friendship that you have now that started because you put yourself out there and talked to someone? Like, one good friendship you have now.
I think 2.
Okay.
Can I name names or not?
Sure. I don't think people will. Yeah, go ahead.
So, Ash, right? We became really good friends over a class we had. And she asked me, hey, can I borrow a pen? I'm like, yeah, sure, here. So, I don't know, yes. And, like, every day that week, or the time that we sat next to each other, I let her use that pen. And, like, it was a good pen, I will say that. So we kind of, like, built that friendship, and we're still really good friends today. Yeah. I would consider her one of my best friends. Because,
That's
like,
great.
over a simple pen.
That's cool.
And
what about your other one?
My other really best friend, Maggie, she, like, we live really close to each other, which is really great. Like,
So how did you put yourself out there with her to like make the friendship?
I've always asked her we've asked each other to hang out, and we've asked each other to hang out a lot, and because we live so close. Mm-hmm. And in fact, in elementary school, we hated each other.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We did not like each other at all.
Oh. So how did that change?
We just like last year in 6th grade, we decided we were on the same bus, and we just started talking.
Oh.
And then, like, over 7th grade, we talked a lot more, and and then that's how we became really good friends. And over the summer and towards the end of the school year.
Okay.
And, yeah, so we both kind of put ourselves out there to talk.
Yeah, that's a big risk, trying to give somebody who you don't like an opportunity, to put yourself out there to get to know another side of them. It's especially hard with someone you consider an enemy or somebody that you don't like, so it's impressive that you took the time to try again or to get to know her in a different way. I have just a couple more questions before we wrap up. And the first one is, what would you want my listeners to know about love? Whether it's like loving other people. Like what lesson would you want to teach them about loving other people and loving themselves?
I'm going to say one thing from the Bible says, God says love never fails. And if it fails, it wasn't real love.
Oh.
So think about that.
Yeah.
Love, if it was real, it wouldn't fail. No matter how many things happen to it, it's not. If it fails, it was never love. But I'm gonna say always love others.
Okay. Yeah,
that's harder. That's hard in middle school, and it's gonna be hard in high school probably, and it's hard in real life because people can treat you like crap. People are gonna treat you horribly. Mm-hmm. But if you treat them with kindness or treat them with love, that's gonna make an impact on them. Because you never know what's going on in their home life. You never know what's going on right now in their life. Mm-hmm. But if you treat them with kindness, that might make them feel better. But it's also gonna make you feel better.
Yeah, that's a really powerful thing to say too. And one thing I share with my listeners is that sometimes we draw in the things that we are. So what I mean by that is like the kinder and more loving person you are, like there's always going to be rude and hateful people, but the more that we become the kind of person we want to be friends with, the more we'll start to notice those people and build friendships with them. Yeah. So it's important.
Always be kind to others.
Mm-hmm. Last question. What advice would you want to give people who just want to be more confident and put themselves out there? How can they do that?
Do it.
just
think about this. It could matter in 5 years or it couldn't. Literally, if you go to the mall, be you. Literally, because you're probably never going to see those people again. Mm-hmm. If it's not going to matter in a year or 5 years, do it.
Okay, so have perspective. And, if you do it and it works out, exactly. It could for sure matter in 5 years.
It could for sure matter in 5 years. If it works out, and then it could for sure matter, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I hear what you're saying about, if it doesn't work out, okay, well, then that's just one day. Wasn't the path for me.
People are so self-conscious about what they wear. Mm-hmm. People aren't going to remember, or even what you do. They're not, even in, your workplace or at school, they're not going to remember. Mm-hmm. So if you're considering, should I wear this? Wear it.
Yeah, if you like it.
People aren't going to bring it up. And if they do, they're stuck in the past and they're not good people. Ignore it.
That's...
wear what you want, do what you want, because it may not matter within 5 years. And if it does, with a person, then that's how you know it's also real love. Oh. Because you're showing off your real authentic self. Mm-hmm. And they like that. And they like you for that.
That's a good point, too. Is there anything else that I haven't asked you about that you want to share?
I don't know. Oh, my favorite color's pink.
Your favorite color's pink. Why is your favorite color pink?
I don't really know, but it's always been my favorite color even since I was a kid. And I've had other favorite colors, but pink just makes me feel happy. And if you look at the color, it's just what reminds you of pink? Sunsets, baby clothes,
Hearts.
your favorite color, the blend between red and white.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else is pink.
Well, those are pretty good reasons.
Yeah, because, like, just, like, wear pink and you'll probably be happy.
I love that. That's the perfect piece of advice to end on. Wear pink and you'll probably be happy.
Yeah.
Well, to my listeners, thank you for joining us today. Aria, thank you for being on the show.
Oh, yeah.
And being so open. Well, I have to hit the stop button before you just get up and leave. That's the nature of teenagers, man. Just mic drop, I guess, literally. And to all of you out there, thank you again for listening to my interview with my daughter. Hopefully you found some
Take
pieces.
my advice.
Oh, okay.
Take it.
Okay. Hopefully you found some pieces of wisdom from her, and whether you did or did not, I always want to thank you for coming.